And welcome everyone to the Riverside County Board Brief as we give you a brief look at what took place during today's Riverside County Board of Supervisors meeting. My name is Pep Fernandez. Let's start with Fire Prevention Week as Riverside County Fire Chief Bill Weiser had a chance to go in front of the board towards the end of the meeting and talk more about that. And we also have some video for you because if you came down to the Board of Supervisors meeting, well, you were treated to a nice display outside as the Riverside County Fire Department had a bunch of fire engines, trucks, bulldozers, any of those vehicles that they would use when they're combating fires across the county. Chief Bill Weiser speaking more about why fire prevention is obviously very important here in Riverside County, and a chance to showcase some of the great tools that they have, the vehicles that they have to combat the fires and keep us safe here in Riverside County. Here's Chief Bill Weiser. And now joining us here, we've got Chief Bill Weiser out in front of the CAC at the Board of Supervisors chambers. And Chief Weiser, we've got National Fire Prevention Week coming up. We've got a bunch of engines behind us. Talk about the importance of Fire Prevention Week and why that means so much here in Riverside County.
Yeah, I'll be glad to. Thanks for having us today, Pep. So National Fire Prevention Week is a commemoration of the Great Chicago Fire of October 8th, 1871. More than 300 people died in that fire and a third of the city burned down. So the United States started really enacting real strong codes for buildings and also started ensuring that, like we have behind us, we start having real professional fire departments.
All right, so how many trucks, how many engines, what do we have out here today?
Well, we have a little mixture of everything. As we're trying to show the people of Riverside County what a great fire department we have and the different stuff. So you can see behind us, we have fire engines, we have trucks, we have dozers, we have squads, we have water tenders. We have everything here in Riverside County.
And Chief, I came out here earlier. I saw Supervisor Jeffries looking around. I know he's very big, obviously, with CAL FIRE and public safety. I just saw you talking with Supervisor Washington. The Board of Supervisors has provided you great support, right, and encouragement.
They've done terrific. I've been the fire chief for 3 years, and I've got to tell you, the board that's in this room, they've been nothing but supportive of public safety, but especially firefighting.
Yeah, of course. All right, that was that was Fire Chief Bill Weiser, again, highlighting the supervisors and their role in supporting the fire department. All right, next up we have Operation Greenlight. Let's take a look at some video from earlier today because a couple of the supervisors wanted to speak about this. That's Supervisor Chuck Washington and Supervisor Karen Spiegel bringing this forward. And Operation Greenlight is something that you might have seen last year here in Riverside County as the CAC downtown was lit up green to honor veterans. As you're about to hear from Supervisor Spiegel, she says this is the very least we could do to remember and honor those who have served our country, have worn the uniform, and they are going to, again, participate in Operation Greenlight right here in Riverside County. Here's Supervisor Karen Spiegel.
It's a very small way that we can show as a county our appreciation for what those that signed that blank check to go wherever they were sent, to give up their lives or not, their families, and everything that it means to serve this country. I am hoping that many of you take that a step further, and at your homes you can use a green light bulb in your front door or back door, whatever, to show your support on an individual level as well as the county on a full level. You know, it's Veterans Day. That's what this time is. And this is a time we should make an extra effort giving our support and our thanks to those that wore the uniform to give us the freedoms that we have.
All right, thank you for that, Supervisor Spiegel. Another item on the agenda that we wanted to highlight coming for a grant awarded to the District Attorney's Office. We have Assistant District Attorney Jared Haringsma talking more about what this grant is and what it's actually going to be used for. Here's Jared. And now join us just outside the Board of Supervisors chambers. We have Jared Haringsma from the District Attorney's Office. And Jared, today on the board agenda, there was an item involving the DA's office, and there was a grant. Can you explain what this grant was?
Sure, that grant was awarded us by the Office of Traffic Safety. They awarded us 3 prosecutors to focus in on DUIs, specifically narcotics and the use of narcotics while driving, and to make sure we focus on that prosecution.
So Jared, if there's folks out there, constituents, members of the public watching this interview, why is that important to them?
Well, this grant allows us to focus on that, and it's a little bit different when you prosecute narcotics DUIs. A little bit more complicated because you need expert testimony. So what we do is we work with law enforcement from the ground up. We go and we meet with the agencies. We'll go to checkpoints, and we'll make sure we meet with these agencies and develop relationships to make sure these cases are prosecuted effectively.
All right, very good. That's Jared Haringsma from the DA's office. All right, thank you for that, Jared. We appreciate that. And finally here on the board brief, as we want to go back inside the chambers and talk about some additional funding coming to Riverside County to address housing and homelessness. Take a look at some video as Greg Rodriguez, a deputy director for the Housing and Workforce Solutions Department, came before the board to talk about $12 million coming from the California Department of Healthcare Services, awarded through the Inland Empire Health Plan to combat, again, housing and homelessness. It's called the Incentive Program, and Greg talking more about it in front of Supervisor Washington and the board. And again, this is a great example of how a private partnership works as Riverside County continues to team up with nonprofits in our community to tackle things that need, maybe some assistance, again, like housing and homelessness, affordable housing to be specific. Here is Greg Rodriguez talking more about this funding.
Actually, this is a really good example of a public-private partnership. In this allocation originally, as you know, we were awarded $32 million between both IEHP and Molina Healthcare for the Housing Homeless Incentive Program. This additional allocation or incentive allocation of $12 million just further enhances that relationship and partnership. We are not creating any new programs again out of this. We're enhancing the current programming that we have, primarily in the three areas of our Homeless Management Information System, HMIS, data collection and reporting tool, our community supports, and making sure that we're uplifting our providers and our subrecipients and how they can get further allocations through CalAIM and Medi-Cal dollars, and then also increasing permanent supportive housing.
All right, thank you for that update, Greg. And that's going to do it for this edition of the Riverside County Board Brief. My name is Pep Fernandez, and we'll see you next time.